Hello everyone, welcome to Nerd Wars. On today's episode, we are looking at Voldemort vs. Sauron vs. Darth Vader. This will truly be a battle of legends. And in this video, we are going to look at all the details on these characters and their powers to see who would more than likely come out on top in a free-for-all battle. And I would just like to go on record and say that these would be from the movies, not the books. Except for Sauron, because he didn't really do a whole lot in the movies, so I had to go from the books for him. And to start things off, we have everyone's favorite wand-wielding, bald-headed, maniacal, evil villain, Lord Voldemort. Now, Voldemort was a master at the dark magics. He was so powerful, one of the only wizards who could stand up to him was Albus Dumbledore, wielding the Elder Wand. And for those of you who are not Harry Potter's fans and just decided to click on the video, the Elder Wand was the most powerful wand in Harry Potter. And Voldemort was an expert in using the 3 unforgivable curses and using enchanted flames. Some of his other unique abilities were Parseltongue, giving him the ability to talk to snakes. He was good at making potions. He could influence and control others by a curse or just from his charisma alone. And he had such raw magical power, allowing him to perform powerful spells and withstand powerful attacks. He was insane. And Voldemort could fly without using a broom, which is a hard thing to do. And he could teleport. So he could be attacking you from the front and teleport behind you and kill you. And some of the other basic things he could do that all the witches and wizards of Harry Potter can do were levitate objects and throw them at people. But another cool thing he could do is he could regrow limbs. He could give someone back their limbs if they were lost, like we see him do with Wormtail. And what's going to give Voldemort a bigger advantage in this battle is he's faster than Darth Vader and Sauron, because he can fly and he can teleport. He can just bombard them with his magical attacks. Now, there's a controversy where his killing curse, whether it would work on armor or it wouldn't. So we're going to go through 2 scenarios, one where it would and one where it wouldn't, to cover both grounds. Can't touch this. And now we move on to the Dark Lord, Sauron. Now, for those of you who didn't know, Sauron was considered a divine being, but got corrupted and, as we all know, hungered for power and global conquest. Now, Sauron had a slew of powers he could do. He could shapeshift. He was good at sorcery and magic, capable of manipulating darkness, summoning fire, and wielding necromantic powers. He can also create illusions and twist the landscape to his will. He has mind manipulation. He can influence and control the minds of others, particularly through the use of the One Ring. He can dominate the wills of those who wear the lesser rings of power, turning them into his servants or influencing their actions. And while Sauron is in his eye form, he can perceive events across vast distances, making him aware of his enemy's movements and plans, but still unable to find Frodo. And as a divine being, he has naturally long life and can exist in a spirit form even after his physical body was destroyed. And he was a warlord and strategist. Now, Sauron being a great craftsman, with the forge of the One Ring, it amplifies all of his powers, making him a lot stronger. And Sauron was a towering giant. He commanded the battlefield when he showed up. An army of men and elves could not stand up against him, because he was flinging them around like they were rag dolls. The only reason the men and elves won that battle was because they needed a good storyline. And now we have the hottest Dark Lord in all of Star Wars, Darth Vader. Now, Darth Vader was incredibly powerful. If you saw Darth Vader on a battlefield, you knew that you would be in trouble. Now, Darth Vader's abilities are telekinesis, force choke, a force barrier, a defensive barrier, force energy to deflect objects and energy attacks, although it's not impenetrable, telepathy, he can communicate telepathically with others and even probe their minds for information, force sense, Vader can sense the presence of force, emotions, impending danger, and even the presence of other force sensitive. Vader also had Tutaminis, which can absorb or deflect energy-based attacks like blaster bolts, and enhanced physical abilities, making him a formidable physical combatant. And Darth Vader can also use the Jedi mind trick. Darth Vader was so strong in the Force he could kill people just by using the Force alone, by breaking their necks. And he was so powerful he kept a ship from flying away, keeping it there with the Force and ripping it apart. He was that powerful. And he was considered to be one of the most deadliest duelists, being trained by both Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Sidious. His power's over 9,000! But now we come to the question who would win in a three-way battle. I think the order would be Darth Vader would win, Voldemort would come in second, and Sauron would be in last. Now just hear me out. Sauron was insanely powerful and could shapeshift, but he would be too slow compared to Voldemort, who could use his killing curses and everything else. Because if Sauron transformed into an animal, he would not have his armor, therefore being exposed to the killing curse. And Darth Vader wouldn't have much of a hard time taking down a giant beast anyway. And when it comes down to Voldemort versus Darth Vader, Voldemort was fast, but Darth Vader would be able to sense Voldemort's movements, giving him time to deflect Voldemort's attacks. And if you're like, well, Voldemort could just use his killing curse on Darth Vader, that is true, but if it didn't work on armor, it would explode instead. But Darth Vader's armor was so powerful, it probably wouldn't do much of anything. And if the killing curse did work on Darth Vader, he could probably just deflect it with his lightsaber, and use the Force to grab Voldemort's wand from his hand. There go, being able to kill Voldemort. Now, I do think it would be a very hard battle for all three of them. I think it would be highly difficult for Darth Vader to win, but overall, I do believe he would come out on top. But that concludes the video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment down below to see if you would like to see more videos like this. Live long and prosper. May the Lord be with you and stay awesome.